What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Daily Grind Fantasy NBA official Saturday live stream. We are breaking down the 7-game slate, and Giannis is questionable. Right on cue. Let's go. Wow, this is going to become more of an updating stream rather than us actually breaking down the slate at this point. I'll tell you what, it's going to be a fun stream because we have a lot of late-breaking injury news to bring to you guys, including Russell Westbrook, who was officially ruled out not too long ago. TJ, what are we going to do? I mean, Giannis is questionable now. That's usually not good news when it's this late in the day. It's an 8 o'clock game, man. So I don't know if we're going to get it out before the live stream ends. Is your mic on? You're not on. Yeah, you've been talking this whole time.
Yeah, that whole time I've just been talking to myself.
Yeah,
I was saying, you know the commercials that they show these days where it's like that guy goes on the first date with the girl and his collar's all wrinkled.
Yes.
And she says he looks amazingly comfortable. I feel like that's me every time on stream. I wear like my worst shirt every time we go live. I don't know if it's coincidence or I'm that big of an idiot.
Probably the second one, yeah.
Yeah, probably the second one. So, yeah, Giannis questionable. Connaughton is not on the injury report, so he's good to go. So, Matt, we just saw this the other night with Houston, with Christian Wood. Remember when Christian Wood just popped up on the injury report randomly and then he got ruled out?
Yes. That's usually when somebody gets ruled, or when somebody gets, the questionable tag this late in the day usually means they're going to be ruled out. Usually.
Right. So we're looking at a depleted Cleveland team. Sexton, who wasn't at shoot around, I think it was today or yesterday. I think it was today he wasn't at shoot around.
Yeah, I think it's today.
Saturday. Yes, it was today. He didn't participate in shoot around. So Sexton's kind of leaning like he's going to be out. Do we think they're throwing Giannis on the injury report so that they can quote unquote throw an injury tag on him and then just rest him? Because that's kind of where I'm thinking right now. So I'm going to run numbers with Giannis off the floor, see what we're looking at. And
do we want to do that yet?
I might just approach this as Giannis is out. Why? I mean, there's no reason to throw him on the injury report right now.
Well, here's I like that logic because if Giannis is ruled out, guys, that is the highest usage player in the entire NBA. I think debatably next to Doncic or maybe even
he's up there. Yeah,
he's up there. He's one of the top 3 easily.
He's up there for sure.
And when he's ruled out, that switches up the entire slate. Okay, there's no doubt about that. All that entire team becomes the go-to team, regardless. I don't care. I think Middleton ends up becoming like a near 11K player. 100%. His fantasy point per minute production is just absolutely amazing. It would be crazy to see what he would do without Giannis on his team.
I do want to know
what is it? Is it 1.7? Something up there?
70 minutes sample size, so it's nothing crazy. 1.81.
Well, no, I believe that because last season it was still up there. It was like a 1.6 or something like that, if I remember correctly.
He gets a 7.8% usage bump.
Mm-hmm. So there's an advantage to this, and
Drew Holiday gets a 12.
Again, these are my raw thoughts. If Giannis is ruled out, and he's ruled out after the lock, which he should be, hopefully we get the injury news before here on the stream so we know how to kind of transition this. But if he's ruled out after the stream and after lock, there's a lot of value here in this early game. Washington, Miami, we're going to talk about it here in just a second. Some great pivots could come from this Milwaukee game that could push you into the cash. I really do think that. It's an 8 o'clock game, so it's an hour after lock. A lot of late-minute pivots here. And there's also some really interesting value here from Dallas. So you could get away from fading that Washington-Miami game, could potentially potentially, with maybe a couple exceptions of like Beal, Butler. We'll talk about them. But it sets you up for some really good takedown potential a little bit later on, at least from a strategic standpoint. 218 over-under isn't that intriguing from the Dallas game, but the 221 Milwaukee Cleveland matchup, especially if Giannis sits, it's going to be very competitive. I think more competitive. Shouldn't say very more competitive. They should still blow them out of the
They're a well-oiled
arena.
machine without Giannis in there.
Absolutely,
led by Middleton.
Great. It's a great
throw
team.
Drew into the mix now. Yeah.
It still shouldn't be a 12-point spread though. So yeah, let's go ahead and wait on that Giannis news. We'll give our final thoughts at the very end of the slate, but let's go through the Washington picture, TJ, since we didn't cover them on the video. Let's start there with Russell Westbrook off the court. Where are we looking? And no, the ownership hasn't been updated. Go ahead.
Yeah, ownership's not updated. Bradley Beal gets a 2% usage bump, Matt, 1.6 fantasy point per minute, a 38.8% usage rate. Have him pegged on the sheet currently at a 6.2, 60.3 DraftKings points. So at 9,700, Bradley Beal is going to be a lock. I understand Miami's very good defensively, but doesn't matter to me. We've seen what Bradley Beal's done with Westbrook on the floor and off this year. So 100% a lock in cash at 9,700. I know the price tag is a little steep, but back-to-back as well. Those are things that really don't affect Bradley Beal. So I love him for cash. After that, I'm trying to figure out where I want to go.
Well,
Rue
now
is
with
the
this
guy I'm looking
Milwaukee
at.
news, I don't think I'm going anywhere, to be honest. But
right. Well, I mean, we're going to have to get some value. So if you're going to start your builds with like Luka, Bradley Beal, if you want Jimmy Butler in there too, and then if you want to go to Middleton, it's going to be tough to, construct the rest of your lineup. So you're going to need some value. I think Hachimura is in play at 4,500, getting 32 minutes, Matt. I don't know why I just pulled that down. He gets a 1.7% usage bump with Westbrook off the floor, 0.83 fantasy point per minute. Nothing crazy, but a 6 on the sheet. I have him pegged for 27 DraftKings points tonight. Nato and Ish Smith are obviously the guards that are going to pick up the slack for Russ. Nato is slated to start. Ish Smith going to get those backup minutes. I actually lean Ish Smith here at 3,900. He's a 1.01 fantasy point per minute, opposed to Raul Nato at a 0.97 fantasy point per minute. Both of them around roughly the same price tag. Nato at 4,100. Again, Ish Smith at 3,900. But Ish Smith slated to get a couple more minutes than Nato. So I think you can go to either one of those guys. I think there's going to be a lot of chalk here from Washington. But yeah, starting my bills with Bradley Beal 100%. I think he's a lock for cash.
Nato at $4,100 really isn't as intriguing as we saw when he was $3,200 bucks. 24 minutes. It's tough. I do like him for GPPs for all the reasons that you've already stated. But yes, the only lock that I have is Bradley Beal, and I do like Hachimura here, just because he's playing minutes. 32 minutes, $4,500. It's going to be really hard to not pay off that price tag. But again, man, when you compare them to this Milwaukee team that we're going to have to break down, it's going to be pretty obvious which team is going to take some stances here on. I do like Dallas. I like Dallas a lot more, just straight up in terms of value. There's a lot more value plays there. So for that reason, I'm probably going to be fading a majority of these Washington Wizards. Might come back to haunt me. But again, in GPPs, there's a lot of options. I love Hachimura, Ish Smith, like you just talked about, and Bertans has been slinging the ball. I mean, this guy's not afraid to shoot. So if you're looking for
you were going to say something else there.
No.
Slinging the...
Yeah, I know what you're about. Okay. PG-13, guys. Bertans, yeah, another great play, projected at 30 minutes and a $4,800 price tag. Anybody else we want to talk about? Nope.
No. I mean, there's a lot of interest for me with Washington. So I think there's going to be some chalk, but yeah, there's other plays that are good. And now I personally think Giannis is going to sit. I feel like a lot of you might feel the same way. There's going to be a lot of good value in Milwaukee as well, but Dallas is the place to go if you're really looking for some lower
spreads are already moving down. 11-point spread now. Miami
or Milwaukee.
Yeah, Milwaukee. It was at a 13 at one point, I believe. Okay. So for Miami, let's switch over. Just Jimmy Butler. I was about to say Bradley Beal. Just Jimmy Butler, correct? And then we'll go ahead and move on for cash.
Well, I don't know now because of the Giannis news. I feel like I would prioritize a guy like Middleton over Butler.
No, yeah,
yes,
100%.
I want to try and get Jimmy in my lineups for sure. He's currently showing 25% ownership on Rotomat. I don't know if you have him a little higher on Fantasy Cruncher, but I think that ownership might drop a little bit because I think people are going to assume Giannis sits, so Middleton's going to shoot to the top. I also think a lot of ownership is going to go to Drew Holiday, so I think Butler might fall by the wayside. But again, fantastic matchup for Jimmy. I want to try and get him in my cash lineups if I can. I think he's really cheap at 7,400 and uptick matchup against Washington.
Yeah, here's the thing. Miami's playing in an up-paced game, 119 point total, and Washington's playing pace down. I still love Bradley Beal, but there's some hesitation for me personally because we know how that works. If it becomes a blowout or if it's a pace down spot and they end up only scoring 100 points, it's going to absolutely screw Bradley Beal regardless. It should anyway. That's the only thing that I have hesitation on. I still love Bradley Beal. We know if there's a ton of usage going to Bradley Beal or any other player that's a superstar on a team like that, they're usually a lock. LeVert is a perfect example. $7,400 a lot cheaper, but he was in a pace down spot last night and ended up being phenomenal chalk, and we explained why. It's very similar to Bradley Beal. So definitely like Bradley Beal. So let me ask you this, TJ. It sounds like I already know your answer, though. Jimmy Butler or Bradley Beal from the first game if you had to lock in the cash play?
Bradley Beal.
Yep. All right, let's move on then. Go to the Dallas chalk here. We have Trey Burke at the highest owned right now, 40.3%. That was just updated, by the way. We also have James Johnson playing 22 minutes, $3,200. Sounds like you have to start your builds there if you're looking for value, TJ. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, Trey Burke's going to be a lock at 3K, seeing 30 minutes with guys like Brunson and Josh Richardson being off the floor. So, yeah, there's not much more you have to say about Trey Burke. He's basically a free piece, allowing you some flexibility to get up and go get a guy like Luka at 11K. James Johnson's the guy that I'm kind of stuck on whether or not I want to go there. I think I'd rather go to Kleber at 4,300, but I do think James Johnson is okay for cash as a last piece because he is so cheap and he's going to see some opportunity. You know, DFS is Dorian Finney-Smith is out. Obviously, Porzingis is still out too. So some minutes to go around at the 4 and 5 position. So I think James Johnson is going to benefit from that greatly. But again, I think I'd rather go to Kleber at 4,300, Matt. So when I'm prioritizing these guys, it's going to be Trey Burke, Luka, and Kleber right now for me for cash. Again, I'm going to have to go back and look at Milwaukee a little bit closer. Yeah, I think 3 guys for cash from this game. You know, Orlando got beat down by Houston yesterday, but they do have Aaron Gordon back. So I do like that a little bit to help offensively because that is something they struggled with immensely. It was just Vooch by himself. Felt bad for the guy.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think you can get away with 3 guys here in cash. I think Trey Burke and Luka are going to be locks. And like I said, if you do land on a third, I don't hate it. I mean, Matt, Boban's there at 3K too.
Here we go.
I mean, hey, I have to listen to you talk about Hassan Whiteside every single time. So if we're looking at the sheet, Matt, Luka gets an 8.5% usage bump with DFS, Josh Richardson, and Brunson off the floor. He's a 1.68 fantasy point per minute and a 45.2 usage rate. 45% usage rate. That's insane. He's a 5.8 on the sheet. I have him pegged for 63.8 DraftKings points. So I love him for cash. Obviously, we talked about Trey Burke. He's a 0.99 fantasy point per minute. So do the math. If he's getting 30 minutes at 3K, I have him projected at 30 DraftKings points. And then Boban, Matt. Boban, 1.5 fantasy point per minute. Currently projected
he's AD
at
3K.
Minutes. Yes, he is AD at 3K with more hops. And then Kleber, 1% usage bump, 0.85 fantasy points per minute. I have him pegged at 26.6 DraftKings points. So those are the plays that I'm looking at. Again, Boban's a tournament play. He's not going to be a cash guy. But yeah, Trey Burke and Luka for sure. And then I think you can get a third Dallas guy.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. Kleber's showing really low ownership, and I understand it just because he's 4,300, but I don't get it because we're looking at stats, TJ, and that's the edge here. I think Kleber's also cash viable. He's getting 30 minutes. Here's the thing, guys. I tell TJ this, and I ran about it. My own stupid decisions. Whenever so let's just take last night for an example. THT last night was projected at 22 minutes, okay? Loved him. Benefited off the AD injury. I was waiting for him. I was waiting for the late night pivots. Still pivoted to THC, but I missed out on guys like Terrence Davis, missed out on some other guys that were expected more minutes, and because of that, I had limited upside. THT did fine. You only got me to 18. He did fine. But you always prioritize minutes in basketball. I don't care how bad the player is, and I'm not exaggerating when I say this. I don't care if it's PJ Tucker. If I'm picking a guy at 4K, if he's getting more minutes... Listen, if he's getting more minutes than a guy, significantly more minutes, I know. Okay, maybe I might be stretching a little bit.
I'm just being fresh.
I know you are.
Fresh.
If there's a guy that's projected to get more minutes, I love him a lot more. That being said, let's bring it back to this slate. James Johnson, 22 minutes, okay? That's my hesitation right there. Still pivoted to THC. Who is it? THT, right? Yeah, sorry, I meant THT. Yeah.
No, you said THC.
Yeah, okay.
Sure. Okay. I misheard you.
Yeah. All right. So anyway, James Johnson, 22 minutes. So that's my only hesitation. Limited minutes right there. Don't like that. So that's the only thing I don't like about him. Max Kleber projected at 30 minutes, 9.8%. Definitely like that a lot more for upside. That's my only point.
Yeah.
Stop spamming emotes. Apparently somebody was spamming emotes. All right. Let's go ahead. Where do you want to move to the next game here for Chalk?
I mean, we can talk about Milwaukee if you want.
No, I know that. I know THC. Yeah. I thought I said THT though. Yeah, I get the joke now.
THC is Mary Jane.
Oh, right.
There you go, Matthew. Weed and stuff.
Yes.
We can talk about Milwaukee if you want.
Do you have the numbers in front of
you? Some of them, yes, I do. Okay. I only focused on with Giannis off the floor, we don't really have a sample size for a guy like Pat Connaughton. I mean, 48 minutes for DJ Wilson. Dante was a guy I really was hoping to have some more minutes on, but he's only played 30 minutes without Giannis on the floor, which kind of stinks. So Chris Middleton and Drew Holiday are the two guys that I obviously were honing in on. And Middleton with Giannis off the floor this year in 70 minutes gets a 7.8% usage bump, a 1.81 fantasy point per minute, and a 32.2% usage rate, Matt. I have him pegged at 66.3 DraftKings points now. Drew Holiday gets a 12.9% usage bump in 64 minutes so far with Giannis off the floor, 1.43 fantasy point per minute, and a 32% usage rate. So if Giannis does get ruled out, I will be prioritizing Middleton and Drew Holiday. From there, that would be what I would want to try and figure out. So, like, I don't know who they would give minutes to. Ilyasova was obviously the guy that would step in when Giannis was ruled off.
Remember those days?
Yeah, I do remember those days. I love those days. I don't know if they would start DJ Wilson at the 4, if they would start Bobby Portis and Brook Lopez next to each other. So that is what I need to try and figure out. Because like if DJ Wilson gets thrown into the starting lineup at 3K and starts at the 4, then yeah, I would love him for cash as well. I just don't know if they would start Brook Lopez and Bobby Portis next to each other. If Bobby Portis starts at 5,400, I think he'd probably become viable. But that's what I want to try and wait and see if we can get that news before we get off. Unfortunately, the game does start at 8, so I doubt we do.
Yeah.
And it is a scary matchup against Cleveland, who's depleted. So there's a lot of factors here. But if Giannis is ruled out, I will be prioritizing Middleton and Drew Holiday. And then I would probably have to wait and see the starting lineup. Again, if they do start DJ Wilson at the 4, I would really like him at 3K.
Bobby Portis love. All right, here's my strategy then. This is what I'm personally going to do, TJ. And it's worked. It's actually worked the past 3 nights, by the way. I'm on a 3-night streak. I think you are too, right? I think you've had more GPP success, but I've made money the past 3 nights, so I can't complain there. This is what I've done the past 3 nights, and I'll tell you it's been working for me. So with the uncertainty of obviously COVID, all the injuries, and then also just any crazy random injury news like last night with AD, I've been able to pivot with those late night hammers, and tonight is one of those nights. What I'm going to be doing, TJ, I'm going to take 1, maybe 2 total players from the Washington game, probably only 1. It's going to be Bradley Beal, okay, because I think that's the only obvious cash lock from the first 3 games, and then I'm personally going to wait. If Giannis is still playing, I still have my Dallas guys that I can easily pivot to. I still have my Cleveland guys, and also the late night hammer here from Sacramento and Portland. We haven't even talked about it. So much upside from those players, okay? I'm probably going to use 1 single roster spot, and again, I think that's a great decision when you look at all this extra value from these last 4 games. That's going to be my strategy. TJ, what do you think about that?
Yeah, no, I do like that, Matt. Sorry, I was briefly listening because I was looking at my phone. Yeah, I think if I'm looking at cash or smaller GPPs, yeah, I mean, I could see myself just rostering Bradley Beal. Like I said, I'm now on the edge. Too. Yeah, I'm now on the edge with Butler just because that Giannis news shakes it up, and I would rather have Middleton and Drew Holiday. But I do like Jimmy. I could see myself rostering Bradley Beal and Jimmy. I still think there's some value there in Washington with Ish Smith, with Hachimura. So yeah, I think there's a couple different ways you can go. But if Giannis is out, guys, like prioritizing some of those boxes is going to be huge. Middleton obviously being number 1. I think Drew would be number 2. I think Dante's in play now. Again, if they start Bobby Portis, I think Bobby Portis is in play. If DJ Wilson somehow gets a start at 3K, I think he's in play. Connaughton's really cheap at 3,300. I mean, they could start.
Connaughton should not play.
No, Connaughton is off the injury report now.
Oh, he is. Okay, sorry,
Yes, so
I did not
Connaughton's
update
good.
that. You're right.
So I'm trying to think. So let's say Giannis is out.
You're right.
I don't know if they'd run Middleton at the 4, but they could potentially do that. I mean, they're going up against Nance and Drummond, so that's some size down low for Cleveland. I don't know if they'd put Middleton on Nance. But hypothetically, I guess they could do that. Put Drew and Dante in the backcourt, and then put Pat Connaughton in the 3. But I think Bobby Portis or Bobby Portis or DJ Wilson is going to start. So yeah, I think Milwaukee is the way to go, Matt, in trying to figure that out.
And again, like I said,
I agree with you. It's
worst case scenario, you load up on Dallas. Like, who cares? And then also Sacramento and Portland. Like, you still have great value to be looking at. And then hope that Jimmy Butler doesn't absolutely break the slate. He still could, and that's absolutely terrifying. But I'm willing to make the risk, or to take the risk there. When you talk about it from a percentage standpoint, I really like my chances there playing Milwaukee with a Middleton that's projected to put up 1.8 fantasy points per minute with Giannis off the court, right?
Yes.
But yeah, I think that's very straightforward. We haven't even talked about the Spurs in the pace-up spot. We haven't even talked about Portland, Sacramento. Are you going anywhere to those guys? I guess for chalk, we know that DeRozan was actually the highest owned once the slate opened up. Are you looking at DeRozan at all? I know you're laughing right now because we're both in confusion. Do you like DeRozan at all?
Yeah, I do. It makes sense. I just think these guys are priced up a little bit too high because they had so many games with Aldridge off the floor. None of them really rate out, too crazy on the sheet, Matt. DeRozan actually rates out the highest. I have him pegged at 42.3 DraftKings points. He's a 1.21 fantasy point per minute with just Derek White off the floor, 23% usage rate, which is actually second highest on the team behind LaMarcus Aldridge, which is interesting. So yeah, it's a fantastic matchup against Minnesota that is very poor at defense. We can see a lot of points come from the Spurs. So if these guys are going to carry low ownership, I think they're really good tournament plays. But I just don't see myself rostering anybody in terms of cash.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think DeMar DeRozan is maybe a last-minute piece, but there should not be a last-minute piece at $7,800, TJ. It's going to be Middleton. It's going to be Jimmy Butler. It's going to be Bradley Beal you can pay up for. It's not going to be DeMar DeRozan. That's not going to be a guy I'm going to land on as my last piece for cash. It's going to be one of these value guys. So yeah, DeJounte Murray, not a bad GPP option. Keldon Johnson has been lighting it up. You can buy him low. Nobody's going to have him based on what he did last game. 6% ownership. Lonnie Walker's always in the mix. $4,300. Seems to have a nice floor at about 20 DK points. LaMarcus Aldridge had a very good game, so I like him as well. But all these guys are in pace-up spots versus Minnesota. Nobody's going to be on them, especially the closer we get to lock here. I do like the Spurs. Let's move on to the very last game. Do you want to move on to Minnesota? Do you want to talk about Minnesota real quick?
Yeah.
Is it worth talking about? Cat is expected to play, I believe. He's just still questionable.
Yeah, he's questionable.
And he's only projected 30 minutes, which is weird. I don't know. I guess that's based on the assumption that he will play limited minutes. I don't know. Malik Beasley projected at 35 minutes. D'Lo at 32. Do you have any interest here? They're showing very, very low ownership.
Yeah, if I do have interest, it'd probably be D'Lo. I think he's been shooting the ball a little bit better and being a little bit more aggressive too, getting to the line, which is things you love to see in DraftKings, getting those free, +1 points every single time you can get a free throw are fantastic. So yeah, I think if I'm leaning anybody here, I would go D'Lo. But if Cat's in, I probably don't have any interest here. Again, it's a good pace-up spot, so I think there's some good tournament plays. So if all these guys are going to show low ownership, I think this is a good game to attack. A lot of the ownership's going to be on that Miami-Washington game. A lot of ownership's going to be on the Milwaukee-Cleveland game now, and I think all the other ownership will probably be on Dallas and Orlando, more so the Dallas side. So yeah, I think all these other games are going to fall by the wayside. This one, the Portland-Sacramento game, and then even that Atlanta and Charlotte game. I think all the ownership is going elsewhere. So I think those make for fantastic tournament plays. Absolutely.
We didn't even talk about Indiana. I think there's some good plays there. All right, we have 280 viewers. First of all, thank you guys so much. If you could do us all a favor, hit that like button. I'll make a deal with you guys. If we get to 380, if we break our overall record, which we broke last Saturday, ironically, I will be giving out $25 to one lucky viewer here. I'll let the Nightbot choose one of you guys because I have a little code I can input now. It's actually pretty cool. Figured out how to do that recently for giveaways. Well, if we get up to 380
you know how you get more likes
viewers,
in here? I mean, you know how you get more people in here? You get to 380, you got to hit the like button.
Yeah, you got to hit the like button. So if you guys could hit that like button, support the stream, helps us out, helps everybody out, helps grow this community. So if you could just hit that like button, we'll appear at the top of the search results. People will view our stream. Thank you guys so much. And we're just... What's that? And you have my money. Yeah.
I said, and then you can have Matt's money.
Yeah. Like I need to give away any more money, but hey, do it for you guys. So do that, please. Also, we're getting to the very good part of our stream where we're kind of breaking it all down and we're getting to our final thoughts, give you guys a direction on the slate. I think I know what direction I'm going. I kind of touched base on it briefly before. Let's go ahead and talk about the Portland-Sacramento game, and then we'll go ahead and talk about our cash locks and GPP options.
Okay.
All right, Damian Lillard, last piece. I think he's a fantastic option. Again, very low ownership, $9,500, 17.5%. CJ McCollum, 10.8%. Do you have any interest here for cash? TJ is the last piece.
I just saw what DJS put in the chat. I was dying. Cash, no. I love Dame tonight though at 9,500 against Sacramento. Yeah, I mean, we just saw Sacramento and Toronto put up 290 points, whatever it was. It was 130. I don't know. I think it was 250 combined points. Sacramento is very poor on defense, so I do like Dame at 9,500. Guys, against Minnesota, he played 29 minutes and had 67 DraftKings points. So I think he is viable in cash if you want to go there. I just think there's better options in terms of value and usage to go around based off of injuries on teams. So I don't really have any priorities in cash, Matt, but Dame at 9,500 he has I have my eyes on him, and CJ at 8,600. I like that too.
I will say I'm fine with landing on any one of these guys going against Sacramento. TJ, I don't care if it's Nurkic, I don't care if it's CJ McCollum, I don't care if it's Derrick Jones. Like, they play no defense, like you talked about last night.
Derrick Jones.
Okay, well, maybe Derrick Jones. Okay, that's a stretch. The GPP though, 5.8%. Damian Lillard though, I mean, absolute smash spot. There should be no reason he should not hit 40 plus points tonight. If he does, he's gonna have one of the worst nights, shooting nights of his career. Sacramento on the flip side here, we don't know what the status is on De'Aaron Fox right now.
There you
go. I took my time there.
Yep, you did.
Fox is technically, he should play his full minutes. Last night he did not play his full minutes, so we expect him to be back. He played 25. Halliburton was in play last night. Absolute smash spot. He is an animal.
Yeah,
he's very good. Do you have any interest in this team?
Yeah, I mean, if I'm going anywhere, I'd probably go to Halliburton at 5,800. He's been unbelievable these last two games with De'Aaron Fox on a minute restriction. So if we do have news that Fox is going to continue to be on that minute restriction and he's not going to see north of 30 minutes, that's just more minutes for Halliburton. And I like what I've seen. So I think he's a good GPP option. No cash options here for me. Strictly tournaments. Harrison Barnes, Matt, is a guy that we've been pretty vocal about to start the year. He's been fantastic. He's starting to get up there in price, but I still think he's a little bit undervalued at 6,400. So I think those are two guys you can attack in tournaments, but no love here for me for cash.
Got it. I think that sums up everything on the slate for cash. Let's talk about some GPP options. What's up?
I think we missed one guy or two that you could potentially go in cash.
Talking about Drummond?
I was going to talk about Cedi Osman.
Cedi Osman and Drummond,
Cedi Osman and Drummond, I think could be last pieces in cash if you're looking at them. Cedi against Memphis, when he started, played 38 minutes with all those guys being out, with Sexton, with Kevin Love, with Garland, with Kevin Porter, with Dante Exum. Played 38 minutes. Maddie had 36 DraftKings points, put up 19 shots. So he got the price bump. He is at 6,200. He still does rate out on our sheet to a 6.55. I have him pegged at 40.6 DraftKings points. He gets a 5.6 usage bump with all those guys off the floor. We're still penning that Sexton news, but he didn't go through shoot around like we did talk about today. So I think, did we talk about Cleveland already? Am I going crazy?
We went right over them.
I feel like I just said this about somebody being out with shoot. I don't know. I'm getting island fever. I think if Sexton's out, I think you can go Cedi at 6,200. Again, if Giannis is out, I would rather prioritize Drew Holiday and try and find $400 more to spend up. But I do think Cedi is a decent last piece. And then, you talked about Drummond. I mean, guy had a 33% usage rate with all those guys, a 32% usage rate, against Memphis with all those guys being off the floor. For him, it's just staying out of foul trouble. And I mean, he's an absolute monster. So at 8,700 with no Giannis, I think it's a little bit of an easier matchup. So I wouldn't hate him either. And the other guy I wanted to touch base on, Matt, was going to be Vooch for Orlando. Okay. This is a guy that went up against Houston, didn't touch the floor in the fourth quarter, and still paid off his price tag at $9K. Now he's got a better matchup, something that could be more competitive. Aaron Gordon back, so the offense might look a little more pertinent. So I really like Vooch at 8,800, but again, I just don't think I'll be able to get there. I love him for tournaments. Absolutely love him. He's only showing 10% ownership on Roto because there's, everybody's going elsewhere to Luka and Bradley Beal now with Westbrook out. And now we got the Giannis debacle.
TJ McConnell rolled out. Okay.
Yeah, TJ McConnell just got rolled out. Okay.
It's not that big of news, but it still opens up
some
minutes.
Yeah, no, I got to lock Aaron Holiday now.
Okay. I mean, I wasn't
just
being
kidding.
sarcastic.
Aaron Holiday, 0.53 fantasy point per minute.
All right, listen, guys, we're 68. I did math. Yes, I did it right, too. So 68 people off of 380. If you guys could do us a favor, hit that like button so we can get to break our record
Matt,
at 380.
We're 69.
69, nice. Hit our record of 380 viewers last Saturday. That was our overall record. You guys have been amazing. Absolutely showing up for every stream. It's been very consistent viewers too. It's NFL Saturday too. It's the middle of a game right now. Can't believe you guys are watching us over football.
Awesome. We're so much more entertaining than the Rams and Seahawks. It's not even a question.
Yeah, TJ can't watch his Patriots anymore in the playoffs, so he hates NFL. He knows what it's like to be a Jags fan. Not being in the playoffs, it's brutal.
Okay,
yeah, it sucks.
That's rude.
For me, it's rude.
Can't wait for you guys to ruin Trevor Lawrence.
All right, well, that was rude. I wasn't being rude, but that was actually rude. Did you hear we're getting Urban Meyers?
Yeah, you wish. Okay. Pay him $12 million
Urban
a
Meyers,
year.
sorry, I said Myers.
Trash. Yeah.
Urban Meyers a beast.
Okay.
Tim Tebow.
Okay. All right, let's keep it moving.
Listen, we did cover Dallas. I saw that question in the chat. Dallas was the second team that we covered. We talked about them. They are very chalk. Let's just bring it all together, TJ. Cash locks. Let's start from the top here. Our favorite cash locks on the slate, assuming that Giannis does play right now, TJ.
So if Giannis is in, my favorite cash locks are going to be Trey Burke, Luka, Bradley Beal, and Jimmy Butler. If Giannis is out, my favorite cash locks are going to be Trey Burke, Luka, Bradley Beal, and Middleton.
Okay. I like that. I personally think, and I'm going to stick with this strategy for anybody who is late here, and there's a lot of you that are late here, what I'm doing is I'm only playing one single player from the very first 3 games in GPPs. Small GPPs, big GPPs, doesn't matter. I'm limiting my exposure to the very first games. I'm probably only going to take Bradley Beal. He's the only really obvious play from those first games. You can make a case for Jimmy Butler, and I get that. If you want to lock both those guys in, I don't hate it. But with Giannis possibly being out, okay, I'm gonna wait on them, and then I'm also going to wait on the rest of the teams here, just in case they get some other late breaking injury news, and then I can load up on guys from Dallas, I can load up on guys from Milwaukee, and then worst case scenario, if Giannis does play, I can load up on guys from the Portland Sacramento game and also San Antonio and Minnesota. All right, so that's my overall strategy. That's how I'm approaching it. My cash locks as of right now are going to be Trey Burke, Bradley Beal, and I will say Doncic. That's only 3, right? Doncic, yes. And then I am waiting for that Giannis news. It's going to have to be Middleton as my 4th lock if he is ruled out.
So my 4 is what you're saying. You
yes.
basically just copied me.
I wasn't listening though, so.
Okay. What else is
well, that's
new?
good that we agree, so.
Yes, it's always good when we agree. The perfect storm. But yeah, guys, I think there are some. Yeah, I think Seti's a good cash option too. If you're looking there, I think Drummond's in play as well. I think Giannis, if Giannis is out, I think that helps Drummond. I think that maybe makes that game a little bit more competitive too. Even though Milwaukee last year without Giannis were just as good as they were with Giannis on the floor. James, Amanda sprayed something. I swallowed it.
Are you dying?
Yeah. Kleber at 4,300. I think he's a cash option. Wow, that's strong. James Johnson at 3,200 as a last piece. I don't hate it. Ish Smith 3,900. Don't hate him either. And then the Bucks.
You did not even mention Kleber too. Are you actually dying? Wow, he muted himself.
I did just said Kleber. I did say Kleber. Okay. Yeah, she sprayed something orange, and it's very strong.
I think now is the time to get into GPPs. Again, all those Dallas guys are actually showing lower owned. Kleber's a great GPP option. Anybody from San Antonio, DeRozan will definitely drop in ownership. You talked about Vucevic. I love Damian Lillard. I also still love Harrison Barnes and Holmes. Those are my favorite GPP options. Again, late night hammers are where you're supposed to be. Also, if Sexton is ruled out, this entire Cleveland roster, load up on some of the guards. They should play full minutes, assuming that it's going to be competitive. They're playing 35 plus. I think you mentioned in the video, TJ, that these Cleveland guards were playing above 35 minutes. The starting 5, I believe, if I remember correctly.
Was that Cleveland?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so all those guys are playing a decent amount of minutes, and like I said earlier in the stream,
If Sexton's
prioritize
out.
minutes. Yes, if Sexton is out.
Yeah.
And he did not participate in shoot around. So let's go ahead and move on to questions, guys. Spam your questions in the chat. I'm going to go ahead and go over the Discord.
Oh no, I had my lineup and now I forget. I just took. Oh no.
Cash locks, just went over that. That's the only question we have here on Discord. I think all of our
Perfect.
Discorders are watching the NFL games right now.
Yeah. Yeah. So guys, cash locks like me and Matt just talked about. If Giannis is out, is going to be Trey Burke, Luka, Bradley Beal, and Middleton. If Giannis is in, I think our 4 cash locks are going to be Trey Burke, Luka, Bradley Beal, and Jimmy Butler. So Matt, I'm gonna hit the YouTubes and see what we got going on for questions here. I'm gonna go to the very top. Yeah, Matt, I was saying that this is so for some of you, I just skipped. For some of you that were in here listening to the music, Matt, I don't know if you saw this. I said that this is a song that you love and you listen to Spotify all the time. It's called "Let's Cash an NBA" by Matt Downs. People thought they were in a Nintendo game, So Giannis being questionable, we have a lot of guys thinking that Giannis is going to sit. I agree with you guys. I think he's out. Is Beal a lock? I think Beal is going to be a lock for cash. Yes, he is such a high usage with Westbrook off the floor. Seti and Nurkic or Barnes and Cantor? I lean Seti and Nurkic.
Who was the first combo?
Seti and Nurkic. Or Barnes and Cantor.
Sorry. Okay. Yeah, I like the first one.
I do like Seti.
Real quick, I got a couple questions coming. How's this for a GPP, TJ? I'm going to read off the lineup for you. Brogdon, Beal, Middleton, Hachimura, PJ Washington, Trey Burke, Osman, Kleber. I actually like that. Brogdon is your low-owned guy. I really do like that overall lineup construction for sure.
Brogdon's been very good as of
very
late.
Good.
Would Bobby Portis be a good play if Giannis is out? Yes. I would be interested to see if he starts.
Is for Dallas too much for cash? If Giannis plays, Middleton drops to Seti plus extra money. He put that in quotation marks. No,
say that one more time.
If Dallas is is for Dallas too much for cash? And then in quotation marks or in parentheses rather.
Got you.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I like that.
Yeah. No, I like that for sure.
Yeah, I think you can get away with 4 Dallas guys.
Yeah.
I'll probably have 3. Definitely 2. So pay an extra $1,200 for an extra 7 minutes for Kleber. I think that's the Kleber James Johnson discussion.
Yeah, again, I'm not saying that he's an overall better play. I'm saying prioritize minutes and fantasy. That's all I'm saying. That's the point I wanted to make. I'm not saying that specific comparison between those two players.
The Celtics are going to be a mess tomorrow. You like Osman? Yes. Do like Seti. Last piece of cash if you need to go there. Brooke Lopez for tournaments? Yeah. If Giannis is out, don't hate it. Any interest in Iguodala? Not tonight.
No.
Bobby Portis, we got a couple guys want to lock in Bobby Portis. Okay, Bobby Portis has been very good for the Bucks so far off the bench. I'd be interested to see if he can get 28 to 30 minutes if Giannis is sit.
Yep.
Osman, Washington, or Hunter? I think you go Osman, especially if Sexton is out. But I don't hate Hunter. Portis will smash no matter what. I do like that. Portis and Lopez have been playing together more lately. They played like 4 minutes, I think, last game yesterday against Utah on the floor at the same time. So I don't necessarily think they've been playing more lately, but I guess that's more than nothing. If Giannis is out, what about Lopez? Giannis will not be there. Yeah, I mean, he becomes a tournament play, but I'm going to focus on Middleton and Drew Holiday. Keldon or Osman? I lean Osman.
Osman.
TJ with that comment. Love that. Freak is out. Who, assuming Giannis is out, who would be your 3 pay-ups? Mine would be Middleton, Luka, and Beal.
How's this for GPP? It's a FanDuel lineup. Doncic, Trey Burke, Herter, Dotson, Hayward, Osman, Sabonis, Kleber, Drummond. It's a little contrarian. Might stick a little bit closer to the cash. Depends on the size of the GPP, to be honest. How is this for the late GPP? I have to wrap my head around late. Okay. Doncic, Halliburton, Hardaway, Barnes, Nurkic, Cole Anthony, Kleber, Carmelo Anthony. That was confusing. I would probably get a little more closer to the cash there. Probably some more Dallas guys. That would be my recommendation for that.
Matt, I got the question tonight. Horford or Horford? It's always going to be Terrence Ross.
It's always going to be Terrence Ross, yep.
Let's see. We love you, God. Thank you, God6. Got your 6. Appreciate that, man. Don't worry. When the Pats find a way to cheat again, they will be back in the playoffs.
There you go. There's the roast.
All right, Josh. Nightbot, take care of Josh Redfoot for me. Bo Elite. No, I'm just kidding. Bo Elite. Man, I love y'all. Y'all help beat some of the top players. Oh, yep. Appreciate that, Bo. You're always in here, man. We love the support. Let's see. With Horford off, would you go T. Ross? Yeah. Matt, got a lineup here for tournaments. Doncic, Bradley Beal, Butler. What's his name? Achua. What's his first name? Why am I drawing a blank? Is it Princess, isn't it?
What?
Yeah, from Miami.
What are you talking about?
Why am I?
You just named some. You just made 2 words up and then
Precious. Oh, Precious. Precious Achua. I thought it was, for some reason, I was thinking Princess.
No, he's projected
Kleber,
at 14 minutes.
Burke, Middleton, Connaughton. I like that for tournaments. Yes. What about NATO starting for Washington? Not too high on NATO, but I don't hate him. I don't hate NATO.
Yeah.
I think I'd rather go Ish Smith. Favorite plays, we did cover those. Thoughts on NATO, Ish Smith? I lean Ish Smith. Can't play Drummond. Brooke Lopez always gives him fits. Yeah, Brooke Lopez is somebody that can get under people's skins, and it doesn't take a lot to get under Drummond's skin. We playing Kleber at center and cash, Matt. I think you can.
I think you can,
yep. Capella versus the Hornets. I kind of always play bigs versus Charlotte. That's a good thing to target our bigs against the Hornets. So I do like Capella for tournaments. I don't know where you're laughing at. Are people making fun of me down low?
They are.
Okay. Is it because I said Princess?
Princess is your nickname.
Okay, that's fine. NATO for cash. I don't think you need him, but I don't hate him as a last piece. But I still think I'd rather go Ish Smith. Chances Giannis sits. The fact that they threw him as questionable now kind of just makes me think he's out.
We have watchers from Slovenia. Are you kidding me? That's amazing.
Wow. You're
playing in Europe, man. And I cash every day. Good with your help. Keep up the good work, guys. Appreciate that a lot.
Is Holiday a lock with Middleton? My opinion is yes. If Giannis
yes, 100%.
Seems like they will sit Giannis. No reason to play him. Agree with you. Who do you like as a play at center? I think you go Kleber, or I think you go Boban. No, I'm kidding. I think you go Kleber. Aaron Holiday and Miles Turner good for cash.
TJ loves Boban today.
Not a fan. Whiteside to play. No. Unless you're
unfortunately.
Who's your favorite forward play? Middleton. Do you like PJ Washington and cash? I do not. Matt, do you?
I do not.
I don't think you have to go there tonight.
No.
I do like.
For GPPs, I like all of Charlotte. Their price tags are very low, but not for cash.
Carmelo, a good play,
especially since the first game on the slate.
Trae Young for tournaments. Pivot chalk, man. I've been so high on Trae Young. He just got roasted by John Collins the other day. John Collins gave him shit about how he's been running the offense. I could see Trae Young coming out and having a huge night. So yeah, I like him for tournaments. Halliburton or Barnes, Matt?
From Istanbul and Turkey? That's crazy.
Princess.
I didn't know we had viewers
I'm sorry.
over
I got a lot going on, and I normally memorize a lot of things. So when I saw Achua, however you pronounce his last name, I was like, is it Princess? No, it's Precious, right? Princess is my nickname. Thank you, Morph. I can't wait for you to roast me in the Discord. Late night hammering Portland, Sacramento. I know Matt likes it, and I don't hate it either.
Yeah, I do.
Matt, why do you like Butler for cash?
Very good price tag, $7,400. We saw what he did against a good Boston defense. He's just too cheap. He's just a superstar, and he's way too cheap. That's the only reason I like him. It's a pace-up spot. The only thing I don't like him or like about him is that he plays from the earlier games, and you can't switch off of him once he starts. That's the only thing I don't like about him.
You can't switch somebody when they've already started?
So, listen, guys, that's why in GBPs, that's why I'm not all over them. And cash, I definitely can get behind Butler, okay? Butler and Beal from the very first games. Your cash locks. It can be.
Matt, I brought up Whiteside, and now we're getting actual questions. Guys, Whiteside is out. Don't worry about Whiteside.
His minutes are not there, guys. That's the only reason.
Yeah, the minutes aren't there.
He's a very efficient player.
Top cash paydowns, Matt.
Cash paydowns is Trey Burke and Kleber and James Johnson.
So Dallas.
Let's see the Osmond, huh?
I think Ish Smith is good. I think you can go Raul Nato if you want to as well to throw into that mix.
Yeah.
Amanda's FaceTiming me. Oh, and I have to mute this. She just left. Give me 1 second. Sorry.
Okay. Best cash player under 5K. Good question. Let's talk about it. Under 5K, we are looking at Hachimura's up there.
Matt, I need to step out for a second.
Okay.
Excuse me. Sorry, guys. Be right back.
Rudy Gay is still up there, under 5K. That's such an awkward range. I try to get away from that range if you had to. Capella, FanDuel, cash at 6.5K. Capella's still a cash option. I still don't like him. I don't know about FanDuel's pricing. Overall, he's still a pretty good value on our sheet. so I don't mind him. Best 3K center is Boban. Yeah, I can agree with that. McGee, a solid option. He'll get decent minutes. If Sexton doesn't play, they're running like a 7-man rotation. I think it's a 7 or 8-man rotation. Yeah, that's the only time when I do like McGee. He still doesn't get that many minutes. Yes, he's very efficient. If he plays over 20 minutes, he's definitely a lock. I think he averages over, I think it's 1.3 fantasy points per minute. So McGee is definitely in play if Sexton doesn't play. They have no options on that team. Nito or DiVincenzo. If Giannis is out, I like DiVincenzo a lot. I really do. I think he'll fly under the radar as well. He'll be very low owned. Again, that's coming from the later game in Milwaukee. Their total keeps dropping, and so does the spread, which makes me like Milwaukee a lot more. Again, it's supposed to be very competitive.
Chris Collinsworth.
What's up?
I just Chris Collinsworth the stream. I'm back.
Okay.
Sorry.
I was ripping through the questions.
Good, keep going.
Nurkic or Capella? Ooh. I don't think they're the same. Are they the same price now?
Vaguely.
Okay. Capella. Yep. D. Wilson or Boban? What?
Yeah. If Wilson starts, I say Wilson.
Wilson, yeah. More minutes again.
Keep crushing the questions, Matt. I like this.
I was switching over to Patreon. And we have no more questions. Yeah, like I said, everybody's watching.
Oh, wow. Bradley Beal's out. That's incredible. Oh, my goodness. Okay. Yeah, Bradley Beal's out. So it says, are you here, Matt? Or did you just bash your head? Hello?
Yeah, here.
Oh, okay, you are here. Okay. So Beal is out, guys. Everybody freaking out about Beal. That's fantastic. So Matt, Beal is out due to health protocol. It says that Wizard star Bradley Beal is out tonight versus Miami due to health and safety protocols and contacting tracing exposure to Jason Tatum. My 19-year-old hero, Jason Tatum, just knocked out Bradley Beal for the Wizards. So now,
all right, listen. Let me give it to you guys straight here. Look at me. Look at me. All of you, look at me. If you play anybody else but the Wizards, I'll smack you in the face. I'll smack you so hard. If you don't play at least 4 Wizards tonight in cash.
Okay.
No, listen.
Okay.
No. In cash. If you don't, you're going to lose this slate. Bradley Beal and Russell Westbrook combined for like, I'm not even kidding, 70% of the offensive possessions. It makes 0 sense to not play the Wizards tonight. We're getting really close to the end of the stream. We're going to try to compute numbers, but minutes-wise, Bradley Beal plays 36 minutes. There's going to be so much value. Nito is going to probably be playing closer to 32-ish, 35 minutes. Ish Smith is going to be playing over 25 minutes. All these guys are going to be playing minutes. Okay, I don't care if Giannis is ruled out. All right, well, I do a little bit, okay, for paying up. Yes, you want to get to Middleton, okay? But play your value in Washington. Way too much usage. Way too much usage.
All right, so let me bang this out real
Matter
quick.
of fact, you know what? Every one of you guys, send me your lineup right now. If it doesn't have more than 4 Wizards, you're getting banned from the chat. Send me your lineups right now.
Yikes. Matt is on a tirade. Okay, so we're going to crunch numbers now. I'm going to start over. So we have Rue, we have Bryant, we have Bertans, we have Ish Smith, we have Denny, we have Nato. Jerome Robinson is now in play, I would assume. So that's fantastic.
There we go.
Troy Brown, potentially, I would say. Okay, so I'm going to crunch these. I did that completely out of order, though, in terms of pricing. So that's not
4 Wizards.
All right.
Not 2.
I don't think you need 4 Wizards, but I think you need 6 Wizards.
No. Okay, maybe 3. I'll let you guys slide with 3. Anthony sent us a donation. Remember when we did the stream on January 9th for an hour, and he doesn't care anymore? Stack Wizards. I think I'm reading that right. Yeah.
I don't know if you know how to read.
Hey, and Matt, doesn't care anymore.
Your guy Troy Brown
hour
is completely fallen by the wayside.
Yeah, did I read that right? No, I've read that right.
I'm not reading it. I'm doing numbers. 32, 23, 25, 37, 34. Robinson.
Our Nightbot just roasted somebody.
Get Nightbotted. Okay,
wait,
so
is
if we're
Giannis
looking
out?
at...
Giannis is out!
Wow, okay. So Giannis out and Bradley Beal out. So Matt,
we have 5 minutes. We can't compute numbers in 5 minutes. At least I can't. Go ahead. Go ahead and do your thing.
we broke down. I already broke down Giannis. I told you, Middleton and Drew Holiday are going to be the two guys you want to go.
Right.
And depending on who they start in the starting five, if DJ Wilson starts or Bobby Portis starts, I think that's viable.
Listen, let me look at the camera again. Ready? Here's your lineup for the night. You ready?
What is wrong with this person? This is my partner, guys.
A down for Washington right now. 3-4 Washington Wizards. I don't care who they are. They can be freaking Wagner. They can be... No, I'm kidding. Play guys with minutes when they update. We don't know if we're going to get updated minutes. Stop. Play Milwaukee. Pay up options. Play Middleton. Play... Is Drew Holiday pay up?
6,600.
Drew Holiday. DiVincenzo's not a bad option. Bobby Portis is, if you want to consider him a pay up option. I will say this, TJ. 3 to 4 players from each team. Seriously, you can get away with that. Dallas, Trey Burke is another value play. I'll let you guys slide with that. But play the Wizards and play the Bucks. Period.
So Bertans with Beal and Westbrook.
I don't even care who else.
Chips is peeing and he's missing his pad.
TJ could be playing for the Wizards tonight, and I don't care. Play TJ. They have nobody.
Ish Smith is a lock. Denny, where are you? You're too small of a sample size.
Yeah. Patreon, we're going to bounce in there here in like 5 minutes, and we're going to give you the exact plays. Let's
guys,
go take a look at these minutes.
Tonight would be a fantastic night to sign up for Patreon
for sure.
There's 316 of you in here. I wish you all were Patreon members. Unfortunately,
we need to talk to you all night.
Everybody can't. But yeah, we're going to be in there breaking everything down shortly. I need to see starting lineups. But yeah, Matt, just looking at numbers, I think Bertans at 4,800 is somebody that I want to focus on for the Wizards. He's a 1.05 fantasy point per minute. Bertans is at 34 minutes?
Yep.
I don't think Bertans can physically
Nato is
play
30. Yes, he can. He's a beast.
Don't think he can.
32 minutes for Nato. I think he's going to be close to a lock, yes?
Yeah, probably.
Hachimura playing 35. What did I say, guys? Hachimura, Bertans, Nato. There's your lineup right there. Don't need to play anybody else. Middleton.
I entered a huge GPP, and now I hate it that I did it.
Thomas Bryant is a good play, too. No, tonight's a great night to play.
What do you have Thomas Bryant
at? 35 minutes, and I'm assuming he's going to be one of the higher usage guys.
Yeah. I think you can go Bryant, Bertans, Rue, Nato, Ish Smith, Denny, Robinson, Troy Brown. I think you can
let TJ talk.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah. Okay, TJ never lets me talk, so don't even go there with that. Don't even. That's fine. Mike.
No, don't mute your mic. Yeah, I think the value there is wild. So Matt, the only thing we need to take into consideration now is like Washington was already 8-point dogs with Beal going. I wouldn't be surprised if they close as like 12-point dogs at home. I would get a little bit afraid of but that being said, guys, like these Washington guys are all so cheap. Like if you load up on Bertans, Rue, Nato, and Ish Smith, like if you don't want to go up to Thomas Bryant at 6,700, bring it back with Middleton, Drew Holiday, then you go Luka. I think I would prioritize the Washington value now over the Dallas value. So like if you're trying to figure out I still think Trey Burke's in play, obviously, for Dallas just because of the minutes. But like if you're between like Maxi Kleber and Bertans, like I think I would go Bertans now because you got to think they don't have Beal or Westbrook, and in Dallas there's still Luka. So prioritize the Washington value a little bit more than the Dallas value. Your spend up spots are obviously still going to want to be Luka. I think with Milwaukee you want to see who's going to start for Giannis, but you're going to want to get Middleton and most likely Drew in there as well. I might go Dame now. I might be able to get Dame in my lineups depending on where I'm going. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting night. I would sign up for Patreon. So when we get all the numbers down, we can help you guys out. But yeah, Matt, I think we kind of got to wrap it up. And
TJ, that was great. I really liked what you said there. Completely agree with everything you just said. Play Washington, Milwaukee, and Dallas. Doncic specifically, Middleton. Don't pay up anywhere else. And then play some lower price guys in Washington. That's it right there. I think that their ownership will be very high, but I also think some of these Washington guys will fly under the radar. So for what it is worth, I think they're also viable in GPPs. Mm-hmm. Yeah, let's go ahead. I want to update all the numbers, TJ. So do you want to answer a few more questions, then we'll go ahead and get off?
Sure. Let's see here.
Oh, wait, real quick. For anybody who's signing up for Patreon now, make sure to link your Discord username in your account settings on desktop, and you'll be put into our Discord automatically. Okay. There's a lot of confusion behind that. Link your Discord username now in your account settings.
Okay, so let's
No
see
Butler?
what we have here. No, I think people are asking if they should fade Butler now. I kind of see both sides.
Fade Butler.
I'm probably off of Butler now.
There's just way too many other options.
Man, there's literally only Luka to spend up for, and then
he's a great spend up.
Well, no. But I'm just talking about in terms of we have Giannis, Russ, Bradley Beal out, which is just wild. So yeah, Hoochie or Bertans, I would go both, honestly.
Yeah, Karl-Anthony Towns will have
a minute
really
if he
matters.
plays. So yeah, Cat's off the floor. Cat's off. Beal's in the starting lineup. No, Beal is out, guys. He is now sitting. James Robinson is currently showing starting at the 2 that I see. So that'll be interesting. If he does start over Ish, they're not going to start Ish Smith and Raul Nato, I guess. So if Jerome Robinson, excuse me, not James Robinson, Matt, I was thinking about your Jags running back. If he does start at the 2 at 3K, I like him for cash. Cap minutes if he plays. Yeah, Brooke Lopez. I don't think you need him now. Feeling Dame tonight. Yeah, I think Dame's going to be a good spend up spot now because there's nowhere else to go.
He's going to have like 2% ownership.
Yeah. Luka and Dame or Luke and Holiday. I don't. Showtime. I think. Who's Luke? Do you mean Luka? Luka and Dame or Luka and Holiday? I'd go Luka and Dame if you can, but I think Holiday's in a fantastic spot. Would CJ McCollum be good for cash? Not really.
Okay, updated ownership.
Don't hate him as the last piece, I guess, but
like I thought, Washington value really low owned. Ish Smith is a lock. Playing, he's only projected 21 minutes. I don't think that's right. We have.
What do they have Jerome Robinson at?
Jerome Robinson at, and I have to make this last point, then we have to get off TJ. Robinson is at 50. Yeah, this isn't right. We're just gonna wait for updated minutes.
It's not updated. Yep.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you so much. We got up to 341. Almost broke that 380 mark, but hopefully next time, guys, we'll be doing a $25 giveaway when that happens. Appreciate everybody showing up for the live stream. Like I said, we will see you guys in Discord for the Patreon members. With all that being said, guys, have a great rest of your night, and let's cash.
See you guys. Good luck.